wife marriage for me, for my healing process. I came into that with very specific ideas, right? Very specific ideas that were blocks to me just seeing Will as who he is. He can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is. He accepts me for the human that I am, and we want to love each other there.
Okay, so you might like live in the same house and have this.
Yeah.
Okay.
About
Tell me.
husband.
Now, you probably looked at that and said, Jada, please take us out of the group chat. Enough is enough. But ask yourself, what is that about? Why do you have an issue with this woman sharing her life? Because they're in the public eye, right? So it kind of makes sense for her to do so. It's beneficial. But outside of that, I understand being black, we are raised in a culture that you keep things hush-hush. Keep what's going on in our house in our house. Well, I can get that on some ends, but we have become way out of balance with that as well. There are people walking around in bondage, unhealed, hurting, damaged because of some of the things that we have swept under the rug. We got so-and-so touching on so-and-so and all type of craziness going on in our families that we are not addressing. The thing is, we are in the age of information. We are in the age of sharing. You guys want transparency, and then you get mad when people are being transparent. There is something that can be learned from what she is sharing you. And this is why that I feel clips are problematic, because often we listen to the clip, we judge it, and we don't go back to listen to the whole thing. And you know, y'all that lack discernment really need to listen more. And we come up with these conclusions, assumptions, and judgments. There is much to be learned. He, without sin, cast the first stone. I know people take that literally, but this is the thing. Your ass is stinking. You got some bullshit going on. You got some stuff that's unfavorable that if you put it on blast, we will be judging your ass too, right? Or the ones that do the judging, so to speak. And that's why you don't put it out there. You are not Jada. And what I find is people that have the most to say about others got the most going on. They're the ones that's most unhappy with themselves and their lives and their decisions. And so instead of focusing on themselves and cleaning their life up, they rather project their insecurities and their hate and their bitterness on other people. Will don't have a problem with this. You know why? Because it's still going on. See what I'm saying? And this is the type of conclusion you come to when you think. It's still going on. So whatever's going on, it works for them. And what she's telling you is this. Marriage has levels. It's complicated. As a married woman who has been married since 2009, I can tell you that it is. It's beautiful when it's beautiful, but it has its complications. But that's life in general, right? Life has its obstacles and you got to work through them. She's sharing to you their obstacles. She's sharing with you how they are working through them. She's sharing you the ins and outs, but you're mad at her while at the same time you ask other people that are being fake for transparency. So what do you really want? There is much to be learned if you're listening, but a lot of times we don't. We listen to poke holes. We listen for the bullshit. We listen to discount what people are saying. And it's really through our own disapprovals of ourselves, our own distortions and dysfunctions that we do this towards other people. Now, I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable with how Jada is doing things. However, I don't judge her for doing so. I think by her putting herself on the line, whoever her audience is that are here to hear what she has to say, they are learning from it. Sometimes you can learn and avoid your own pitfalls by listening to other people. But also, I expect that some of y'all just gonna be judgmental. One thing I've learned about Instagram has some of the most hateful, judgmental, self-hating individuals ever. At least by the comments. I don't know y'all personally, but that's what I gather from the comments. And so when you're in that energy, you have to ask yourself, why am I in this energy? Why do I feel the need to spew my fear, insecurities, discontent, dysfunction, and distortions on other people? Because I can tell you, when you're doing the work, You might think things. It's one thing to think things, right? It's okay. It's one thing to think. It's another thing to put it out energetically for the world, for the interweb to absorb. That's a totally different thing. And when you take time to do that, you've got to ask yourself why. We are in an age of information. This is an age of sharing. And the problem is the very thing that she's saying about Will, she had an expectation of what marriage should be. She had an expectation of who her husband should be. Well, all along, she needs to accept who he is. That's how we are in general. We put our expectations, our beliefs, we feel how people should look, how we feel people should talk, how we feel people should walk, who they should be with, we got all type of stuff. How we feel people should be and who they should be. And it's ridiculous. And this is why it's so much conflict and discontent, not only in this country or corporation, but around the world. We all should be evolving. None of us are perfect, but at the same time, the core of people of who they are, we should accept. And if we can't accept that, then we should align ourselves with people that are more palatable for our lifestyles. Jada is giving you some jewels if you're listening. But if you're listening to be the accuser of the brethren, you're going to miss it every time. Now, would I do it? Probably not. I mean, there's some things that I've been dealing with or been getting the message from spiritually to share. And it's so hard to be transparent in a way of really coming through about some things without throwing other people under the bus. But there's some things that I can offer that will be healing for others, right? But even I have to figure that out and get it together. But I'm just saying, y'all gotta be cool, man. Y'all gotta be cool. Why we just can't be cool? Why we cannot be cool? We gotta ask ourselves that. And that's another reason why we get into it, because we cannot just be cool. Why is that? All right, y'all, have a peaceful and prosperous day. I'll check y'all later.